Hey there, Julia here. Today we are counting down my favorite pink inks. I admittedly am not the biggest fan of pink inks. Well, maybe I don't even know if it's that. Maybe I'm just more picky and choosy with pink inks. I don't know what it is. But for my favorites today, I will be choosing from 24 inks that are eligible from my ink directory here. But a lot of these feel barely pink, a lot cross into other color categories such as brown, purple, and even orange. So with that being said, I really tried to not get too wild with the hue, but I also wanted to choose inks that I actually have experience with. Like this is gorgeous here, this Orchid Flower by Novolur, but I haven't even put that in a pen yet, so I can't really include that in this list. And per usual, we need to get into the pink mindset with some color psychology. Again, take it with a grain of salt. So for the positive aspects of pink, pink is associated with being intuitive, with romance and love, being empathetic, being feminine, and being calming. And fun fact about that, pink was actually used in holding cells to reduce erratic behavior, most notably in Switzerland. And when I read that, I immediately thought of Squid Game, that big like area with all the stairs and all the pink in there. Is that supposed to make them calm? I don't know, but it made me think about that. And then on the negative side of things, we have pink being associated with being emotional, being immature, weakness or insecurity, being impulsive, and inexperienced. And I don't know, that just feels very anti-feminist to me. It sounds like a lot of things that people say about women. So that's interesting. But let's get to the top 5 list with some honorable mentions, of course. I'm gonna give you 2 hints. You try to guess it, and then we'll swatch it. So number 5, this ink is named after a fierce flower known for its tall stalks and vivid layered petals. This ink is produced as a part of a small batch series. What do you think? My number 5 pick is Birmingham Pen Company Snapdragon. And yes, this is a huge 100 ml bottle. And I will say that even with that caveat earlier about the pink inks I have, a lot of these will be kind of skirting that fuchsia line. And I feel like will be a little darker because with pinks, I tend, well, with most color categories, I tend to like darker tones of colors. I feel like this one will dry down a little darker if my memory serves. And I will be doing a writing sample with the Sailor Hakoto with the fine tip in it. So yeah, we have a nice range of shading here. It does lean the tiniest bit purple, but I thought it fit a little bit better in the pink category. Okay, speaking of, my number 4 pick is a little more liberal with the pink category, at least in the traditional sense. So this color debuted in the 2023 Inkvent calendar on day 4, and it's named after an elegant and theatrical event. What do you think it is? My number 4 pick is Diamine Masquerade, which is a super dusty pink, almost mauve color with gold shimmer. I will say that I really enjoy this ink, the flow and everything. Every time I've had it inked up in something, I actually have this inked up in my wedding bouquet pen right now as a little something different. I usually go teal with that pen, but I want it to go more pink mauve this time around, and I've really been enjoying it. But yeah, here again, we are getting a nice variation in the color here in the swatch, and the gold shimmer is just a nice touch as well. Speaking of the Inkvent calendar though, have you pre-ordered yours yet? I actually have, and this will be my third Inkvent calendar. And I'm really excited about it because I saw that this year they're going to be adding some permanent inks, which is nice because I just got some of the Forever inks. But I saw that some of the inks are going to be like permanent shimmer inks, permanent sheen inks, maybe I saw as well. So I'm excited to see what they end up doing. And also it is the teal box this year, and I love a good teal ink. So I'm hoping that big bottle is going to be a beautiful teal ink. Let's move on to number 3. My number 3 pick, the color's name is Punny, but it's missing a little spice. The ink also draws inspiration from a fairy tale that features a candy-covered house. My number 3 pick comes from the Fairy Tales collection. This is Ferris Wheel Press Sugar and Spite. And yes, this one will definitely give us purpley fuchsia vibes. I love it though. It's so punchy and vivid, and the color itself is just really saturated, which I enjoy. At least for pinks. You don't get much shading here, as you'll see with this swatch. We're not getting as much variation here, but it's still gorgeous. We get some color shifting shimmer in there, like a rose gold to pink. It's a little harder to get the dip pen in this little mouth bottle. But yes, gorgeous. Okay, moving right on to my number 2 pick. This ink is included in a collection called Midnight Masquerade, and its name combines a wine with music. My number 2 pick is also from Ferris Wheel Press. This is the Sherry Sonata. And again, we're getting into this fuchsia, dark reddish even vibe. But when looking at this next to other reds, it just fits a little bit more with pinks. I say that and watch this be super red next to these other inks. Yeah, especially here, it's still giving pink, even though it is named after a red wine. Okay, before we get into the number 1 pick, let's talk honorable mentions. I have 2 with me and 1 that's not with me. So the first one, I haven't used enough to really put it in this list, but it is a really gorgeous ink that I got with a Sailor pen. This is basically Sailor Ink Studio 237, but I did get this with the Heisei Pop pen that I featured a few months ago. And it is a fun, we'll do a little swatch here, a fun chroma shading ink. That is truly pink. And see, this next to the Sherry Sonata here, they are close enough to where, yes, this does look quite red, but when you look at it next to like this, which is a pink, like, it's pink, it's pinkish. But I think in the cap, you can kind of see the way that the color shifts as well. We might not get as much here, but it does have like a greenish, goldish tint to it as well. My next honorable mention is Super Pink, and the reason I didn't put it in the list is I just thought it was a little too light. I have used this in painting. It was, in fact, one of the inks that I used and all of the attendees used at Chicago Planner Conference last year. I taught a painting with fountain pen ink workshop, and this was one of the inks provided. This is Robert Oster Sushi. So here we get, yes, pink, but also it kind of leans coral as well. And it's probably the most pink, maybe, out of all of these. It even leans a little neon to me. But yeah, I definitely thought it was worth mentioning. All right, let's get to my number one pick. So this ink is a part of a beloved line of inks, and this one in particular was released in 2011. It's named after a flower that blooms in early autumn, and sadly it was discontinued around that time in 2024. What do you think it is? My number one pick, I don't have a bottle sadly yet, maybe I'll get a bottle, is Pilot Iroshizuku Kosumosu. And I know it's cruel to have a discontinued ink as my number one, but I thought that since it is so recent, at least at the time of filming this, I think bottles are, and samples too possibly, are still relatively easy to find. Similar to the gray ink Kirasame, you can still find these at retailers, but it has been discontinued. But it is a beautiful ink. I only have this much left in the sample, so we are soon gonna say bye. Wait a second, I forgot to mention my third honorable mention. If you care to hear, I don't have it because I've used the entire sample and it's such a good one. I'll put a swatch of it up here, but it is Lamy Rhodonite. Beautiful. Possibly leans more fuchsia like this. Has a cool like goldish sheen if I remember correctly, but I loved it. It was the first pink ink that I used up, not the bottle, the sample, but still, it's great. Honorable mention, check it out. But let's swatch Kosumosu. Look at that, it's just hits you in the face. It's like Barbie pink. Wow, at least on my screen here, it looks so much brighter than it does in person. And it's nice and legible. Wow. Yeah, we can see some of this is dried down, a lot more purple, like Snapdragon. At least on this paper, this is Cosmo Airlight, looks a little more purple than it has on some other papers. And this is even looking a little more purple now. But hey, I warned you that I had shifty pink ink taste. But let me know your thoughts, and of course, please add your favorite pink inks down in the comments. I really would love your recs for this one because I'm still looking for a pink to just fall head over heels for. So let us know down in the comments. Subscribe for more stationery hangouts. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more ink color explorations and hints and recommendations, I'll leave the playlist of these videos for you right here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.